Hello and welcome back. Myself Dr. Ruby Singh, and today we are going to do the second part of the first chapter of Crop Production and Management Class 8 CBSE syllabus. So in the previous session we talked about like the earth is made up of 75% of water and 25% of land, and in that 25% of land the entire population needs to sustain their life. And how exactly they are going to do? By cultivating different types of varieties of crops together and in management, doing the management in order to distribute to the entire world. Now, how exactly this is being done, not only in India, but also the entire world. So before we begin, so we know that nomadic lives, यानी कि पहले आदिवासी लोग कैसे रहा करते थे. So they used to wander here and there in the search of food. यानी कि एक जगह पे रहते थे, वहाँ के लोकेलिटी में जितना फूड सोर्स मिलता था, पानी मिलता था, वो लोग उसको यूज कर लेते थे. जैसे वो खत्म हो जाता था, वो आगे बढ़ते थे. So that's how initially the people were living. So from one place to another place, they will just keep on wandering from places to places. So that was the nomadic lives, आदिवासियों का जो जीवन था पहले. तो धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे लोगों की जरूरतें बढ़ी, लैंड में जितना जो सामान था, जो फूड रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल था, वो कम होने लग गया. सो दे स्टार्टेड लर्निंग न्यू प्रैक्टिसेस लाइक व्हाई कांट वी जस्ट कल्टिवेट, be in the one place and then start cultivating. So slowly over a period of time they learned the agriculture practices over here. So if you see over here, just let me share this thing. Yes, so if you see over here, slowly with the time revolution started coming. Sorry. Yes. So revolution came into the picture. Now, what do you mean by revolution? Revolution is something which brought a new practice into the society. So when people were overgrowing, that is, the population was increasing over a period of time, a new type of practice was needed. So slowly in the society, during the civilization, certain revolution took place. So we all have heard about the Green Revolution. So who is the father of Green Revolution? I guess someone will answer me in the comments below. I'm really expecting to get the answer who is the father of Green Revolution. So you have got father of Green Revolution who started initially was Norman Borlaug. Now you tell me who is the father of Indian Green Revolution. Okay. Now, so Green Revolution over here, it was about the food grain was produced. So with the help of science and technology, the cultivar, the crops were manipulated in such a way that within the same locality, more number of plants you can get. So initially you were getting only one or two. After the Green Revolution, in the same land you can get many. So that's how the production got increased in order to fulfill the demands of the growing population. Similarly, we got the Blue Revolution over here, which was for the fish. Then white in case of milk, and then we have got the yellow for the oil seeds. Now, what are the examples of oil seeds? It can be castor seeds, til, right? You must have heard til ka tel, sarso ka tel. So all these are nothing but good examples of oil seeds. Then the pulses. So what these pulses? दाल हो गए आपके, मूंग दाल हो गए, चना दाल हो गए, तूर दाल हो गए. So all these which are rich in protein, those revolution was brought and known as the Golden Revolution. Yes. Moving on to next. Now, coming back to our topic, what are these crops? So, crops are nothing but that they are same kind of plant or animal product which are grown or cultivated on a large scale. So, this can be agriculture or the aquaculture. Now, why these crops are important? Because they are going to give nutrition values to the growing population, and it also fulfill the demands required by the population. Now, what are the examples? Examples can be wheat crop, rice crop, cotton crop, anything. So, over a land, it can be acres or hectares, growing one particular kind of cultivation, it is called a crop. Okay. गांव में जब जाते हो आपने देखोगे सरसों के खेत, गेहूं के खेत, rice paddy field, right? So all these are nothing but a different varieties of crops. Now, the plants which are grown at home or are on small scale of area are not said to be crops. अब इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपने घर पे 2-3 गमले लगा लिए तो आप भी crop cultivation कर रहे हो. It's not the same, right? So when you're growing on a large scale of area, then it is called crops. Now, there are different types of cultivations. So initially, whenever we talk about cultivation, हमारे दिमाग में क्या आता है? खेती बाड़ी, right? जो हम गेहूं के करते हैं, राइस के करते हैं, या सरसों के करते हैं, या कोई भी वेजिटेबल्स के. But all these can be divided into different categories. तो पहला agriculture, which we all know, the method of growing crops on a large scale. So as we discussed before, wheat crop हो गया, paddy fields हो गए, आपके vegetable fields हो गए, etc. Next is the horticulture. So it deals with the production and management of fruits and flowers. So यहाँ पे फूलों की भी खेती होती है. तो आपने देखा होगा शादी ब्याह में या किसी पूजा में बल्क में आप फ्लावर्स लेकर आते हो. इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल कि किसी के घर में 1 या 2 गमलों में लगा हो. इसके लिए भी पूरी एक प्रॉपर खेती होती है, विच इज नोन एज हॉर्टिकल्चर. Okay, so especially with the small strawberries and the roses are the very good example. So here in the picture also you can see एक line से beautifully all flowers are growing. So आपने देखा होगा एक नीदरलैंड में भी बहुत famous है place which is really meant for different colors of tulips. They are growing. काफी pictures में भी बहुत सारे scenes लिए गए हैं जहाँ पे लोग मिलते हैं and बहुत सारे ऐसे फूलों के खेत बने हुए हैं. Then is the olericulture. It deals with growing of vegetables, यानी कि which is just the fleshy part of the vegetables. There is no wooden part. Example spinach and lettuce. पालक हो गया आपका, right? So आपने देखा होगा जो आप इतने मैकडीज में जाते हैं, पिज्जा हट में जाते हैं, तो आपने हमेशा देखा होगा ग्रीन लीफी एक कैबेज जैसा एक लेयर होता है. It's actually not a cabbage but a lettuce. Okay, it looks like a kind of cabbage. They grow. Over here, the picture is also given. This one, it's the lettuce, spinach, palak, right? It has got nothing, only the leafy part. So such vegetables which are grown are called as olericulture. Next is the aquaculture. From the name itself, it's very clear that we are going to talk about the plants or the fishes, prawns, which are grown in the water. So here, what people do or the fishermen do is they select an area which is very much rich in the nutrients. जहाँ पे बहुत सारे अच्छे से पानी का सर्कुलेशन हो, वाटर एयर सर्कुलेशन हो, जहाँ पे बहुत सारे फीड आर अवेलेबल. So what happens? आपके fishes and prawns can be cultivated in that particular area, in this particular area very nicely. So what will happen? So many fishes and prawns you can get and they will not escape into the open water. So then once after a few days when they grow up, they collect and they sell it to the market. Yes. Now next is the, what are the different types of crops? So here, till now we have discussed like what are the different types of cultivations. So agriculture, horticulture, olericulture, and we talked about the aquaculture. Now depending on the Indian climate, we know that India has got vast diversity in the climate. आपने सुना होगा जब हम कहते हैं कि चावल खाने का मन कर रहा है, ये बंदा बहुत चावल खाता है. So we always think, oh, this person must be from the south. अगर आप रोटी की बात करें, पूरी की बात करें, तो आपको लगता है ये पक्का नॉर्थ से होगा. So क्यों ऐसा? फिश ज्यादा खाने वाला है, तो पक्का बंगाल से होगा. क्यों? Because these are the regions depending on their climate conditions, they have adapted to the food habits. So North Indians basically they go for wheat, South Indians basically go for the rice, and the Bengal side they go for the fishes. But nowadays, just because there is a very good management and distribution all over the India, all over the world, you can get the bread, you can get the roti, you can get rice, fish, anyone can eat anything now, depending on your food habit. So depending on the Indian climate, temperature, humidity, and rainfall, the crops have been divided into 2 types. So first one is the Kharif crops, second one is the Rabi crops. So in the case of Kharif crops, if you see, these are grown in the rainy seasons. So these are grown in the rainy season, especially from the month of the June to September. Examples are paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut, cotton, etc. Now, why in the rainy seasons? Because these kinds of crops need more amount of water. So for proper irrigation, they need lots of water. So instead of giving from the tube well and all, so they have adapted in such a way that whenever there is a high amount of water available, they grow such crops. So by the end of the September, you can see that they will start the harvesting. Now coming to the rabi crops, they are grown in the winter season, that is from the October to March. So by March, by the end of the March, they start harvesting the crops. For example, wheat. So when you go to when you're going for your winter vacation, you can see that that is a time when all the fields have been plowed properly and the wheat has been sowed. So by the end of the March, like for example, right, this is the time, a very good time for harvesting the wheat fields. So they harvest and then they do the threshing and all, and they pack very properly so that they can distribute to the different parts of India. Now we'll come to that slowly, don't worry about it. Just remember that we have got different types of crops, that is Kharif and Rabi, depending on the season. So in the rainy season, we have got the Kharif, winter season, we have got the Rabi. Now besides these pulses and vegetables are also grown during summer at many places. So they come under different categories of called Z crops. Okay. So this is a very good classification given for Kharif crops and Rabi crops. So you can see in the case of Kharif, as we discussed already, it is in the rainy season. Always remember. So it is the rice, corn, soybean, sugarcane, groundnut, cotton. And on the other side, we have got the Rabi, wheat, oats, chickpea, mustard, almond, broccoli. So these are the very few good examples to distinguish between Kharif crops and the Rabi crops. Now, sorry for the disturbance over here. Now, to summarize, depending on the parameters, let us differentiate between the Kharif and the Rabi crops. So, what is the sowing period? यानी कि हम seeds बोना कब शुरू करते हैं, ठीक है? So that is in the case of Kharif, as I said, when rainy season starts. That is the onset of monsoon, the monsoon starting time. So that is around June to July. So if you delay, what happens? What will happen if you delay your sowing period of time? So the farmer is going to be in a very big loss because the water won't be sufficient for his fields. So then the farmer needs to depend on the tube wells or other source of irrigation. So it's better the moment monsoon starts, you start sowing your fields. In the case of Rabi, it is October, December, that is when the winter starts. Now harvesting period. Harvesting period means when you start collecting your crops from the field for your own purpose or for the distribution purpose. Harvesting means ikhatta karna, collect karna. So that is from the September to October, and in the case of Rabi, it is the April, June. That is the start of summer. Now all these are very important because see, if you don't do on proper time, what happens is your products, your crop starts getting deteriorated. यानी कि वो खराब होना शुरू हो जाता है. It will be either very ripe, then what will happen? All these wheat fields, they get very dried, and that's the time when you should harvest. Now, if you're not harvesting proper time, what will happen? All the seeds will come outside and they will fall onto the field. And then collecting from the field with lots of soil in that, it's very difficult. So it's better you harvest them. You make a collection of like this. So farmers, what they do? They cut it and then they carry. Nowadays, we have got the tractors and other instruments to do. Now, water requirement. So obviously, when we have already said that Kharif is for the rainy season, so high rainfall or the better irrigation. In the case of Rabi, since it is the winter, so we need less amount of water. Now, region where it is grown, Kharif, it's all regions of the country, and Rabi, it's in the northern, northwestern parts of India. So what are the examples? Already Kharif we have discussed paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, cotton, groundnut, etc. Whereas in the case of Rabi, wheat, barley, peas, grams, and mustard. So these are the very good differentiation between the Kharif and the Rabi crops, depending on the rainy season, depending on the seasons which we see in India. Okay, now this is very important over here. This is very important over here to understand crop rotations. Yes, now I got how clear. Yes. So in the crop rotation, from the word itself, it's very much clear like what the author is saying over here. So there is a crop and you try to rotate it. यानी कि क्या एक के बाद एक in the sequence. So what does it mean in the case of agriculture or the cultivation? So it is a method of growing a series of different types of crops in the same area across a sequence of growing seasons. So what does it mean? यानी कि आपके पास एक लैंड है. Okay, just let me draw and show you. So you have got the land over here, right? And in the same land, first crop, suppose let us be one type of paddy you have grown over here. Let us say paddy or any other things you can take. Now in this itself, after sometimes you can also grow the second crop. So it can be something else. Okay. Or there is another way where what you do is you grow two types of crops together in the same field. Now again, let us say it is a method of growing a series of different types of crops in the same area across a sequence of growing seasons. तो जैसे जैसे आपका क्लाइमेट सीजन चेंज होता जाएगा वैसे वैसे आप क्रॉप्स उसमें कल्टीवेट करते रहेंगे. नो, क्यों हम ऐसा करते हैं? सी, हर एक के पास इतनी जमीन नहीं होती है. सो व्हाट दे कैन डू इज, इन ऑर्डर टू मेंटेन दी सॉइल फर्टिलिटी, यानी कि उपज बनी रहे मिट्टी की, उसके लिए दे दिस इज द बेस्ट मेथड ऑफ डूइंग द क्रॉप रोटेशन. बट क्यों करना जरूरी है? वो इसलिए बिकॉज व्हेन यू कल्टीवेट सेम क्रॉप रिपीटेडली, it leads to gradual soil depletion of nutrients and selects for highly competitive pest and weed community. इसका मतलब क्या? एक ही खेत में जब आप बार बार सेम क्रॉप कल्टीवेट करते हैं, द सॉइल लूजेस इट्स फर्टिलिटी. वहां पे न्यूट्रिएंट्स अवेलेबल नहीं होते हैं नेक्स्ट राउंड के लिए. और क्या होगा? उसमें जो वीड्स रहते हैं, दोज आर द अनवांटेड प्लांट्स व्हिच ग्रो, right? So they start taking more space as compared to the crops which you intend to cultivate. So that's why crop rotation is important. But nowadays you must have heard of pesticides and weedicides, manure and fertilizers. So all these have come place, and they have made the it has made the cultivation very easy. Now what are the advantages of doing crop cultivation or crop rotation? Though that is, it controls the disease and nematodes. Nematodes are those big small insects kind of things, or the worms. Then it balances the fertility of the soil. It improves the soil tilth and the structure. So if you do again and again same crop cultivating in the same area, it becomes dry, banjar jaisa ho jata hai. It loses its moisture, it loses its nutrients availability. That is what the soil's tilth we are talking about. And the farmers get more variety to sell. So instead of selling only one particular kind of crop product, now he or she can sell at least two or three. Okay, so these are the very good advantages of doing the crop rotation. So moving on to the next. Okay, so this is a very good diagrammatic explanation of how exactly the crop rotation is being done. So let us see over here. So you have got the first year you have growing corn. So on the consecutive years, you're just growing corn. So what is happening? The outcome of the product is going to get reduced, because every time you're growing the same and the same plant needs the same nutrients, and that particular nutrients will get over, right? In the same way, again I'll say, so when you grow the same plant in the same field again and again, what happens is the plant needs the nutrients, that nutrients got depleted, khatam ho gaya hai. If you're not providing the external fertilizers or manure to the land, then it is very difficult for the plant to grow. Next, if you do a little rotation, that is एक साल corn किया, एक साल soybean किया, you will get a good amount of crop product. Next, make it more alternate. Bring more alternate in this. So you have got corn, wheat and soybean, corn, wheat and soybean. So what will happen? The crop products are going to be better. Now it will be best if you just change it. So एक साल आपने corn किया, wheat किया, soybean किया, फिर alfalfa किया. So this is how what happens is, like एक बार आपने corn किया, wheat किया, soybean. All these are different. They need different nutrients. So when they are grown together, they just change the soil fertility and they retains it. Okay, and that's how what happens is the soil retains its fertility. Now in this, very important thing is there which you need to understand is how exactly crop rotation is helping in maintaining the soil fertility. Okay, so let me just tell you how exactly this is being done. So one second. Yes. So what happens is over here, if you see, you have got the land over here and you grow one kind of plant over here, right? In the next, what happens if you take suppose soya bean and all is there. So these soya bean plants have got the root nodules. It is called root nodules. Let me just write. It is called root nodules. Anyways, in later classes, we will study about this. It is nodules. So these root nodules have got these kinds of bacteria over there, and these bacteria help in fixing the nitrogen from the atmosphere. Right? Now, thus, what will happen now? The nitrogen has been fixed into the soil. So this is how in the soil the nitrogen nutrient has been brought back by the usage of or by cultivating soybean or any other legume plants. Now in the next, your soil is very much fertile. It is having so much of nutrients so that you can grow the other crop. So that's why it is very important to do the crop rotation. I hope this is clear. Okay, so I'm just giving you one assignment. As already mentioned that the father of green revolution is Norman Borlaug, but I want you people to find out who is the father of green, white, yellow, blue, golden revolution in India. Like who brought these revolutions in India to make the population survive, sustain fruitfully. So till then, I hope you like the video, understood. If any queries are there, please you can email me and I'll be very happy to answer all your queries. Thank you. If you like it, please subscribe. Thank you so much.